Guys, deluded Gooner, YouTube's N'Golo Kante. Now, I don't support Manchester United, but I am a fan of Jose Mourinho. But what I'm not a fan of is distractions and deflecting, and he is a master in that. Been knowing he's a master in creating the whole siege mentality, us against the world sort of thing to the media, and he's been deflecting since he's been at United. But he's deflecting to the point where a lot of United fans I speak to are actually quite annoyed at it now. Like it's getting too much, and I can't blame them. Like they dropped points against Burnley or whoever they played at the weekend, and he starts talking about other clubs, talking about how other clubs can spend money on fullbacks and this and that. Like, you're at Manchester United. Like, no disrespect to them, but they can't be touched by FFP. They're not now, but historically one of the biggest clubs and best performing clubs. They can't be touched by FFP or any financial fair play laws, especially for a numerous couple of years because of how much they won stuff. You're the ultimate checkbook manager essentially at a club with unlimited resources. So how can you use that as an excuse? You spent 300 odd million last year. How can you complain that City having a better IQ and a better competence of spending that money and a better plan of spending that money? You mentioned spending money on fullbacks. How City can spend the amount of fullbacks that you can spend, or some nonsense. I can't remember it word for word. But I'm pretty sure Gab Jesus and Luke Shaw, of course you didn't spend it. The point I'm making is Manchester United have money. Shaw and Gab Jesus, they were both 27, 26 million, forgive me if I'm wrong, without speaking about add-ons. So what are you speaking about? Most United fans, and in fact not most, any logical United fan knows that Jose is talking nonsense on that one. The difference is competence. Yeah, at the start of the year, people were actually saying that you spent all right because you identified a goal scorer. They needed a goal scorer. Fair enough, Lukaku might not have been first choice, but he's scoring 20 odd year after year. Matic to free up Pogba. On paper, these are the sort of things you want to see. You want to see happen. You needed a centre half. Lindelof could have came in. There was cases for another midfielder and several other stuff. But on paper, people were saying you could have done better, but you did all right in the transfer market in that regards. In that it seems that you're going out there. Well, you didn't. Even so, people were saying you were playing fancy football, free flowing, fluid football, which to a degree you was. And when you were battering teams like Hammers 4-1 and things, it was shown. But you can't be getting at Pep. Pep hasn't signed. I'm not saying you have either. Pep hasn't, similar to you and Pogba, and Kevin De Bruyne and Pogba, they're not world-class players yet. They've got scope to be world-class. He didn't buy any world-class players. He's got these players with scope to grow, and he's enabling them to reach their potential. He worked with what he had in in Raheem Sterling. He's even used some sort of squad players. He had an damn right competence in regards to signing these players. It's exactly what he wanted them for, and he moved. Manchester United, or more specifically Jose Mourinho, didn't. Of course, I don't want to attribute all of the transfer nonsense to Jose because he does. It is, in fact, he gives the letter or whatever to Woodward, and I don't know who did what, and we're not going to pretend like we're experts in them sort of things like some people. But it's just a cop out. Like, look closer to home and think about what you're doing, man. Like, yes, you're playing Rashford a lot, but you need to free them sort of guys up, man. It's not their fault that Lukaku it's not City's fault. Lukaku's being fed up starves of service. It's not their fault that you're struggling to hold. I know you're still good defensively, but you're giving away cheap goals and teams are getting late flurries. It's not their fault. It's not City's fault that they had competence, ambition, damn right, drive and hunger above anybody else in the top six. It's not their fault. So stop looking for cop outs and look closer to home. Like, you face the hardest job of your life at Manchester United because they're not where they want to be. You need to reinvent yourself, and what else? Money isn't going to fix it. Like, of course money can fix any. Money has fixed City, but money with competence. Like, you need to know why you're buying players. You can't just pour players. Since Fergie's gone, that's all United have been doing. You've seen ADM, you've seen Falcao, you've seen all of this, and you need to recognise this and stop looking for excuses, because United fans, they definitely deserve better than this. Well, definitely the ones I speak to, even though they used to be cocky twats, or for want of better words. But yeah, man, Jose's just, I really think Jose is a good manager, and he's someone I could learn a lot from for how he's been historically. I mean, even in his saying this about Jose, he's given United their most successful period. Yes, Van Gaal won the FA Cup. My man's he's delivered a European trophy, but he needs to reinvent himself because he's selling himself short. He's selling the fans short, and they're not going to buy. United fans are not going to buy this whole blaming refs and blaming other people constantly. They want to see fluid football. They want to see proper stuff. Like, they want to see it. Like, it's not going to go on. Like, you're there, this is similar to Wenger. You're enabling too many pensioners to thrive at the club, man. You're there giving out pensioners and players and deadwood new deals and things like that, where Pep was really trying to get them out, and the only deadwood you can kind of claim is still there is Delph and Yaya Toure and a couple others to a degree. No disrespect to them because they're getting look-ins this year, but you get the point. There's not much more to be said on that front, man. I don't even know the point of this vid. I just was making other vids and just thought, let me make another vid, innit? But yeah, Guys, deluded, man. Get in the comments, subscribe, and do the rest of it. There's not much more to be said on that front.